The Arabian Desert has always been a land of extremes, burning heat by day, freezing winds by night. And in this land, only two things rule: oil money and mafia power. Every city had its own gang, its own ruthless king. But one name echoed louder than all others: the Desert Falcons. Parents warned their children, "Sleep, or the Falcons will come for you." Merchants whispered, "Do not cross them, or you'll lose everything." The world feared them. But what the world didn't know was that this mafia carried a secret far more powerful than guns and money. A secret called kindness. The Falcons' leader, Karim al-Zahid, wasn't born powerful. He was born forgotten. An orphan in the back alleys of Riyadh, Karim grew up hungry. He begged for bread, slept under broken tents. Every night, he prayed for just one thing: someone to notice him. One winter, a kind baker gave him a piece of bread. Karim never forgot that taste. It wasn't just bread, it was hope. That day, little Karim promised himself, "If I ever have power, I'll feed the hungry. If I ever have respect, I'll give it to the forgotten." But life wasn't merciful. The streets taught him one rule: kind people are crushed. To survive, Karim became sharper, harder, deadlier. Step by step, he rose into the dark world of the underworld. And one day, the boy who once begged for bread became the leader of the most feared gang in Arabia, the Desert Falcons. Karim was not an ordinary mafia boss. He gave his men a strange rule: if you rob the rich who poison our land. If you kill only those who kill the innocent. And whatever you earn, share with the weak. The Falcons did terrible crimes. Yes. But at the same time, they built schools for orphans, hospitals for the poor, and water wells in forgotten villages. People whispered, "Are they devils or angels in disguise?" Even the police were confused. One officer once admitted, "They break the law, but they fix society." Karim's right hand was Yusuf, a big man with a loud laugh, famous for saying the wrong things at the wrong time. One night, after a bank robbery, Yusuf joked, "Boss, people call us criminals. But honestly, we're just running a charity with extra steps." The whole gang laughed. Even Karim smiled. But then he added softly, "Remember, Yusuf, fear gives us respect. Kindness gives us immortality." Yusuf often argued, "Boss, sometimes your kindness is madness." But when no one was watching, he secretly bought toys for poor kids. He was tough outside, but inside broken and soft, just like Karim. The world truly noticed the Falcons after one shocking event. One night, they stormed into a royal bank. Bullets fired, alarms screamed. By dawn, they escaped with 5 million dinars. The nation trembled. But the next day's news stunned everyone. Desert Falcons donate entire stolen fortune to build an orphanage. The government raged. The public cheered. And children in rags sang songs of the Falcons. The line between crime and kindness blurred forever. But not everyone admired Karim. A rival mafia boss, Hassan al-Jaber, was the opposite of him: greedy, ruthless, merciless. Hassan mocked Karim. "You're not a mafia, Karim. You're a preacher hiding behind guns." One night, Hassan's men slaughtered Falcon soldiers, leaving their bodies in the desert as a message. The city expected bloodshed. They whispered, "This is it. Karim will turn into a monster." The Falcons armed themselves. Yusuf shouted, "Boss, no more kindness. Tonight, we finish Hassan." The desert waited for a war. Karim led his army into Hassan's fortress. The enemy was captured, kneeling before him. Everyone expected a massacre. But Karim raised his hand and said, "Feed them, give them water, then let them go." The Falcons were shocked. Yusuf almost screamed, "Boss, they killed our brothers. And you feed them?" Karim's voice was calm, but firm. "Anyone can rule with fear, but only the brave can rule with mercy." The city gasped. Some said he was weak. But months later, the impossible happened. Hassan's soldiers abandoned him and joined Karim. The kindness Karim showed had broken their loyalty to a cruel master. One evening, Karim walked through a marketplace in disguise. He saw an old woman's stall where people took food without paying. She was too weak to resist. Karim's anger flared. He chased the thieves away. Then, He removed his golden ring and placed it on her table. Take this. From tomorrow, no one will dare to steal from you again. The old woman looked into his eyes and whispered, My son, I know who you are. The city calls you a devil. But to me, you are an angel. For the first time in years, tears rolled down Karim's face. The Mafia feared by thousands was just a boy still carrying the hunger of his childhood. Humiliated and betrayed, Hassan tried one last trick. He allied with corrupt politicians and planned to wipe out Karim. But by then, Karim's reputation had become unstoppable. Ordinary people who once feared him now stood by him. Villagers warned him of traps. Merchants supplied him secretly. Even some policemen looked the other way. Hassan fell. His empire collapsed, and Karim's legend grew. In his final years, Karim gathered his men and said, Remember this, Falcons. Power is not in money, not in guns, not even in fear. Power is when a child, who has nothing, still prays for your safety. Power is when even your enemies eat because of you. Fear dies. Kindness lives forever. Years later, when the Falcons disappeared into history, people still told their story. Old men in cafes whispered, They were criminals, but they gave us hope. Children still played games shouting, I'm Karim al-Zahid, the kind Mafia. And somewhere in the vast Arabian Desert, the legend remained. A Mafia who proved that kindness is not weakness, but the truest form of strength.